7:14. We're discussing the pictures on the website. The website is retiredtoarkansas.net. And, of course, Bob and Linda, the Z Team at Century 21 LeMac Real Estate for all your real estate needs. Check them out at 405-0793.
Yes, sir. Or take a look at retiredarkansas.net and
enjoy
take a little travel log that we've been going through here this morning.
How's Bob?
I'm good. It's
been such a long time since yesterday.
I know. I was very good. The governor was good. The governor had good information, was able to impart some stuff to us and explain how his realization, and I think that the impact that we're really seeing in his concept of education and being able to technical skills, teaching these kids other things. It's not just the books. It's being able to use your hands. It's being able to do those types of things. And I think that he's a very, very big proponent of that we haven't seen for a while. And I in the long run and even in the short run, that's going to pay off. I had a chair when the guys were here a couple weeks ago from the school.
Yeah.
I had a chair that was from the Bulls locker room in the Chicago Stadium, which is a whole other story. But there's 12 chairs. I have 2 of them. But it broke. You know where you lean back on where the metal is, and one of my guys is in that class, that welding class over there, and he took it over there, and it's better than it was when it was new. So I thank everybody that participated in getting that thing up and running because it helped me. So that was good.
Yeah. What amazes me about the governor is as many people that he sees in a day, a week, or a month. I was in Little Rock Saturday and saw him, and he says, "Hey, Dale, how's things in radio?"
Yeah. And that's the thing with guys like that. I mean, that's why they're able to do what they do. That's why I could never do what I do. Faces, great. Names, not so much. So much.
Yes, sir, Governor. Things are fine. You know.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And that's that's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my numbers because I got them all goofed up this morning, and then we can talk for those who call in to listen. Those who listen just for that. This past week, there were 45 new listings came on, 11 parcels of land, 3 commercial properties. 31 homes came on the market this week, and they came on in a range of $16,000 to $399,000. Average price coming onto the market was $163,000. There were 32 sales this week. Good week. 7 parcels of land, 1 commercial property sold, 24 homes sold, and those homes sold in a range of $14,000, a little trailer, to $425,000. But the average sale price this week was $141,000, which is up a little bit. The average listed price when those homes came on the market was $152,000. There was $3.4 million in real estate closes.
Gee, you're still doing it. Wow.
Residential real estate closed this week.
So you've had, we've been in 4.3 was your high, and I think 2.7 was the low on the average so far since July 1.
So, I mean, that 3.4 is a good number. It was up $1 million from last week. 30 properties expired, 41 had price changes. There's 942 properties listed on the MLS right now.
Hasn't that come down a few numbers?
It's down. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty happy with that. It's down, and people are a little more realistic with where the number needs to be. I think that makes a big difference. Of those 942 homes on the MLS, 465 are in Mountain Home, 53 in Bolt Shoals, 24 in Norfolk, 13 in Cotter. For 2014, year to date, there had been 713 sales for $86.1 million. Not bad.
That was last year.
That was last year. This year, for 2015, year to date, there's been 770 sales. So that's 57 more sales for $95.1 million.
And we're just barely in the third quarter.
Yeah. Wow. So that's
$9 million ahead.
Things are moving ahead. The prices aren't jumping up. I don't want you to get the misunderstanding. A lot of the money volume is from the number of homes that are selling, but the more people that come here that buy homes, that shrinks this market up a little bit. 942 homes is probably 2.5 years of inventory. So there's always going to be homes to pick from. Some homes will never get picked. Some homes will get picked in a week. You know, it depends. It's price, it's location, it's presentation, and I think that's really the important part of it. It's where it is and how it presents. The, one of the things that we've been seeing that you bring up all the time with, with the holidays and the kids coming down and stuff, and we're seeing not necessarily the kids coming in saying you need to do something, but the adult realization that I really don't want to keep up this much house anymore. I don't want to keep up this much land. It's getting to be fall, and they see all those leaves laying out in the yard, and my back's been bothering me, and we're having people that are having second thoughts on that, and the realization that I really don't need to do this anymore. I've reached a point in my life that something smaller, whether it's a little condo or a little house in town, just a little something in a neighborhood where you can rake this stuff up in an afternoon instead of it taking you 3 days and then going back and starting all over again. The house, the little leaks, the little things where the paint is starting to peel a little bit, and maybe there was a little leak in the eaves. There may have been a little ice dam that built up over one of the windows, and the stains are on the ceiling, and it's not getting any better. And you do not belong up on that ladder trying to get up there to do something about it. And that's a very integral part of our business, is being able to help people to move on from that. And or getting it fixed now, adjust the price later, depending upon how long people have been in there. If you've been living in the house since 85, and if you end up ahead of that, because there is an investment, but you've also got to remember that you've lived there all those years. You've had Christmases, you've had birthdays, you've had the kids' graduations, you've had whatever it is that you've had. That's all part of your living. That's part of the profit, is a word for, that you're going to realize on the house. And to be done with the aggravation, and to not have to worry about, I really don't want to go out there and rake those leaves. I don't want to cut that grass. Sometimes the house is just too big and they just don't want to keep them up anymore. That's fine.
I remember, you talk about the family issues, and I remember when my grandparents retired in 1972 from St. Louis to Poplar Bluff, all of the grandkids were relatively young. I was the oldest one at 14 years old. 20 years later, married with several kids at the time, and the travel times are totally different. You know what I'm saying? So, what they planned for at age 65 was totally different by the time they're 79, 80, and 81 years old, because, we don't need all this room because, their kids are now getting married and having family. Well, they're not all living in that same house. They may be living in Boise, Idaho.
And a lot of it is just keeping up with that day-to-day maintenance of things. The little leak turns into a big problem if you don't do something about it. And keeping up with the paint and the wallpaper, things that are dated, where people walk in and go, wow, I haven't seen Harvest Gold in a long time. And you get that, flock wallpaper. You put it in and you loved it. The next guy maybe not so much. He sees that, he comes in and they see that it's a project going, oh my God, how am I ever going to get that off of that wall? Because they didn't have the same sizings and stuff to, so that it'll peel off. Those are that's all part of the process. And we can walk you through that. We'll help you. We'll hold your hand. We'll get you to where you need to be. Like I said, whether it's something smaller here or people that are thinking of going to be with the kids or going to go to Good Sam or whatever the case may be, one of the little condos by the hospital, one of the little rentals by the hospital. That's a great thing. Going into winter, the utility bills, that type of thing, your taxes, you're probably not paying much in property taxes. If you've been in there for a while and you have some age with you, you've been frozen for a while and your taxes were never that high to begin with. So it can be kind of an issue that we run into with people when they come in and they go, well, how much are the taxes on that house? And you tell them $800. And I've had people say, a month? And you say, no, that's for the whole year. And you get the bill in February and it's not due until October. And they go, oh, you're full of it. And I say, no, that's the way it is here. But those are the types of things. Then we got to explain that it's going to go up some when you buy the home. But the idea that you can get out of pocket with some of this stuff. You can, instead of having to worry about who's going to shovel the snow, how am I going to get out of the garage, there are things that can be done to help you out with that. And we will be glad to come out. Take a look, see what the market says your house is going to be worth. Is that what Bob says the house is worth? Not what Linda says the house is worth? we actually do our homework, and we'll take a look, and we go over this stuff, and we have the wherewithal. I can give you a pretty good idea where you're going to be at the end of the day. And that's being honest with you. I'm not going to sit there and you're going to go, well, I got to get, and I'm going to say, oh, yeah, I can get that for you. That's not who we are. Mm-mm. There are people that is who some people are, not us. I'll let it go at that because I got myself in trouble. But but it's the truth. And you see houses that we went out, we did a CMA, told the guy, this is where you're going to be. Tell the couple, this is where you're going to be, and it's going to be a little while. And then you go back and you'll see it a year later, 2 years later, where they'll sell for less than we told them it was going to be. And they've gone through all the price reductions and the aggravation, and nobody comes to my house to take a look. Well, because your price too high. That's why nobody came to the house to look, because they got the choice of 948 other ones to take a look at. And when you get into different price points, that's really what makes the difference. I always wanted to go back and knock on the door and say, hey, now that you're at the price that we told you should be, are you going to fire your agent and hire us and let us do the job that we said we would do originally? But you can't do that. Can't be going around behind the sign. But that's just the kind of things that like I say, we can come, we'll help you, we can provide handyman if something needs to be fixed up in the house to get it ready to sell. Because if it is all dated, and not just the date, it's not the harvest gold as much as it is the little water stains and the leaks and things like that are going to come up in a home inspection, homes where they never replaced ground faults and things like that, things that are expected now, and you're going to have to get that done before you sell, before it closes.
Yeah.
So this is what we do. We do this every day, all day. We took a little afternoon off yesterday to go, and like I said, we went on the boat and just enjoyed God's beauty yesterday.
I bet it was gorgeous.
Spectacular.
Baxter Healthcare has announced the addition of more than 200 new jobs over the next several years, and that's going to be maybe 200 families, and maybe half of those may come in from out of town.
And even if it's 100, if it's 75, if we can put 100 more people that live here to work, that's huge. That's really the purpose of those jobs. Isn't necessarily to bring more people in. It's to help those that are here, that have been looking, that have gone to school, that have a pride in themselves, to be able to step up. Because the job pool here isn't real deep, in those that are working every day. They've got, but some of those people are going to be able to move up and say, look, here's my job history. I'm on time. I'm clean. I'm sober. I'm ready to go. Some of those people are going to end up over in some of those higher paying jobs, and that's the way it should be.
Well, with the good money that they're talking about paying over at Baxter, you may have people over, let's say, Salem, Ravenden, that just have, why don't we just move them out in the home and get
Missouri plates that you see on a given day when you're driving around. That's why the hospital's as big as it is. That's why we have the library. That's why the university. All of these things come in because of those people that can come down. Or come up. Mountain View's be a little far, but there's enough places that are within striking distance that it's worth driving up. So I see great things for the area, for our immediate area here, and then that radiates out. I mean, that's going to affect Gassville. It's going to affect Flippin. It's going to affect Norfolk.
Yeah.
Just for that very reason. Right. Not everybody wants to live in the city. So we can find you places that are a little bit out, because we're going to move some of those people that are out a little bit and need to get closer in. That's job one.
The website's retiredtoarkansas.net. Let's talk a little bit about it. We've got about a minute before we go to news break.
The biggest thing on there is the presentation, and how we have every listing for Century 21 is on there. But it also gives you an idea of how we present our homes. The featured homes that are into many of those are ours, and you need to be responsible for yourself as a consumer, as someone who's going to entrust a realtor. You're going to hire a realtor to sell your home. Look and see. First of all, see if they have a webpage. See what their company webpage looks like. See how do they take pictures and leave the toilet seat up or leave all the junk on the countertop and stuff. We're a visual society. We go through, and the guy who's sitting in New Jersey that I use all the time, but he's sitting there going through, he may be on Trulia, unfortunately. He may be on Realtor.com, and he's looking at those pictures, and they blow through them, because that's who we are.
Phone number, locations.
Phone number, give my honey a call, 870-405-0793. The webpage is retiredarkansas.net. Give us a call. Let us come out and see if we can help you.
That brings us up to news time. Coming up after the news break, we got training at Bering Creek with Elka and Mike. Stick around. Be right back.